great Memorial Weekend. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Brandon, did you have any fun plans today?
I spent a day on the river yesterday, and then today I did a little car driving around the mountain up in North Georgia, and then hiked a bit up there. It was a wonderful day. What about yours? How was
Yeah.
your Memorial Weekend?
Well, Memorial Weekend trash. Our AC went out. But other than
Ooh,
that, it's working again today. It was
well,
90
that's good.
degrees in the house, but we're chilling. So we just barbecued a little bit, burgers and hot dogs. So it was a good day.
Solid,
We can't complain.
solid.
A lot of I don't know, like weird drinks we just made. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
feel like people get creative on this, but uh I really want to get into like the other reason why it's such a great day because I feel like Brennan couldn't have been more wrong on everything. So like I just really want to get into it. But before we do that, I want to change up this question that we usually do. And I want to
Okay.
put you on the spot. Okay.
Okay.
I was watching a podcast earlier and it gave me this idea, and I was like, we have to freaking do this.
Okay.
I want you to go on your messages
Okay.
and go to your emojis, and I want you to tell me your top three
Oh
emojis
God.
that you most
I don't.
frequently use.
In order of 1, 2, and 3, or
1, 2, and 3.
okay. Number 1, the eye emojis. I use that probably like every other text. And then the laughy face emoji, and then the grinning devil emoji. It's my combo.
What's the devil emoji? I didn't even know
Shout
they
out,
had one of those.
shout out to the fire though. It's up there as well.
The
A1
fire,
fire.
okay.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. Honorable mention. I have to
Yeah.
say, mine's a little like generic. It's the kissing face emoji
I
at
don't
number 1.
I don't know if you classify it as technically the devil emoji, but it's what it is. Am I like?
It's 100%. It's like the poop
Yeah.
emoji isn't actually poop. You know, they came out and said it's like chocolate or something. It's like no,
Yeah.
that's a piece of turd. I have the kissing emoji. Then I have the smiling, laughing emoji. I feel like anyone that doesn't have their laughing emoji at top 3 is
Yeah.
the devil emoji. You know,
Unless you use 3 like right before then for some reason and you spammed it and it lowered, but otherwise you should have the laughing emoji top 3.
top 3, 100%. And then I also have the eyes. I love the
I mean,
freaking eyes. Like,
oh, I do the eyes. I mean, I abuse the eyes. If I send a laughing emoji, the eyes are going like I send eyes with every emoji. I feel like just to keep it up there.
it's like and then I will have to say the this one is like an honorable mention with along with the fire, but I don't know, emojis I feel like have kind of fallen off, so I was like, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's revisit them.
Yeah, I use them quite frequently still, but really I use like 5 emojis and that's about it. After that,
Exactly.
it's just like I'm done.
Right.
But
let's get in the.
Yeah.
Can you say it? Can you say the meat and potatoes of the pod that you definitely don't want to get into, but we're freaking getting into it?
I will just accept that I'm wrong and that right now Wadid is very much ahead when it comes to our prop side bets. But yeah, so let's start soccer. Let's start before we get into what I don't want to talk about. Let's first talk and shout out to Brendan Aronson, an American soccer player who just got transferred, or Leeds United just signed him for 30 million, which is now the second highest like transfer for an American soccer player of all time, which is huge. I'm excited for him. He's a great player.
Who is number 1?
Christian Pulisic when he went to Chelsea. Yeah, he got like 74, I think, 70, something along those. So,
wow.
But still, that's a big deal for for US players, just because it's starting to get them more out there. So, congrats to him. And then to the hurtfulness. Liverpool lost 1-0.
I couldn't see this coming.
To the much less better team. Liverpool should have won that game.
But did they?
No.
But again, I couldn't see. I watched the highlights and I saw the goal. The goal was a tap in. The goal, like if he missed that, honestly, like Liverpool 100% should have won. But you got to finish, bro. These guys got to finish.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean
that's the issue.
Real Madrid,
I mean, you saw it in Man City. They had how many shots on goal? They couldn't finish. Courtois or literally had the game of his freaking life, man of the match, which is insane for a goalkeeper to win. I mean, I'm not mad I just got a little bit hungry because now like a dinner is in the works.
I understand. It's fine.
You know, we'll figure
Someone
it out.
has someone has to feed you, so it's fine.
You know, thank you. That's the
Yeah,
cross you bear, and I'll just have to
exactly. Yeah,
take the correct picks as my cross, I guess.
yeah.
We'll figure that out.
Listen, you're on a little hot streak. It's fine because you're eventually going to cool off, and when you do, I'm going to milk you dry of everything.
Be
I'm going to
careful
make
what you
sure
wish
you
for.
have no money.
Unfortunately, I'm feeling myself, so I'm gonna bite. Like that's
I
the
know.
problem. I
I
can't
know.
help myself.
I
You
know.
son of a gun. Well, that's before I get the second thing you don't want to talk about. Let's get into a little football.
All right, let's do it.
And I think this weekend, like the start of the weekend, really start like from the last pod to here, a lot of things happened. And I think the biggest one that kind of started off from the beginning of the week, that was Colin Kaepernick getting a workout in with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Is this something? Is this nothing? Do you think he's going to go to the Raiders?
I mean, if he goes, he's not playing. That's the thing. They just signed Derek Carr to an extension. The
Right.
GM said it's Derek Carr's team. Like they're not gonna sit Derek Carr. So it's like maybe, but at the same time, I don't see why. Like it's not a team that needs a quarterback. If it was a team that needed a
Exactly.
quarterback, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But I think it's really just kind of going to fade off again, and then people are going to be upset that they worked him out and didn't sign him, and it's just going to be a whole nother ordeal.
The NFL does not look good in this at all. Because like if you think about it, first of all, the Raiders do this. They already have a quarterback, like you said. They don't need him. Even if he comes down on the bench, he's never going to play. Derek Carr is like definitely up there in terms of rankings. Like he's not like top 10, but he's like maybe 12, 13 in my books. But like if he comes back and like a team watches this and signs him, right? And he comes out playing like trash, the NFL is going to be looking like, oh my gosh, you ruined his career. Or if he comes out and starts balling, they're going to look at the NFL and be like, you wasted his career when he could have been doing this the whole time.
I think if he comes out
I
and
can't
plays
see
like
it
trash,
going well.
If he comes out and plays like trash, I think it's just going to be like he should have stopped trying. This is on his own doing. But if he plays well, then it's a problem. But I don't think.
But do you
I don't
really
think he would
think
play
so?
well. Yeah, because like the thing is, like if he comes out playing like trash, it's literally just like, okay, that team just wanted a little propaganda thing. That's my thing. But it's like if he plays like, because what's the chances of him actually playing well enough to not just win a starting job, but for y'all to win games? Like he hasn't played since what, 2016? Like he's been out of the league for
But that's my point though, is like if he comes out playing like trash, well, you wasted 6 years of his career where he was like good. So like,
but the thing is, you can't
NFL's
like
fault.
you can't blame the NFL for that because it's like you don't know the next year he could have faded off, like completely fallen off because he had that one great year, but other than that, he was decent. Like people are gonna say whatever they want depending on like whatever their stance is when it comes to the like his specific stuff, but like on a football standpoint, the NFL is gonna be like, listen here, he chose this, and then he chose to wait 6 years, and it's not their fault. No team would sign him. Like teams have tried him out plenty of times, so it's not like they've all stopped. And unless he can actually prove that he's still good, I think it's just one thing that he's trying to keep his name in the like public relevance right now for some reason. Like if you're not like Michael Vick apparently like came out of retirement to like play in the fan controlled football league, and then he was like, I'm not doing that. They're like, it's just trying to keep names like people who are popular. I'm like, just go do something else. Accept it. Tim Tebow tried NFL, that didn't work out. Did NFL get roasted? No, the Jaguars did, and we all know how that is. That's a complete debacle as well. So it's like the NFL won't be to blame. It's whatever team I think ends up signing him specifically.
Okay. And then moving into like the other weird situation that the NFL has to deal with, Deshaun Watson's decision, I think, is coming into the works. Like it's like they need to make an announcement pretty soon. They haven't came out with one, but it should be within the week, honestly, because the HBO series came out with the victims of the sexual assaults. That did not look well at all. So this is interesting what the NFL is going to do.
Yeah, especially because with the Browns planning to keep Baker Mayfield now, it's like, do they know something ahead of everyone else, like that Deshaun might not be able to play somewhat?
Right. I don't know. We have to wait and see. And then you sent me this picture, I believe, like a couple weeks ago or last week, sometime during the week,
yeah,
about the NFL discussing the Pro Bowl. and I know we talked about it a little bit, just saying how stupid it was because
Yeah.
like nothing really happens.
They're too
And they're
untouched.
debating it, just getting rid of it or
How to improve it, but it's like,
but like
how do you
nothing
improve
really
it
came from that comment.
without actually having them tackle them and actually play like a normal football game? How do you improve it? It's
Like
so.
just push them
I,
a
I
flag
I'm
football.
intrigued to see what they say because I feel like once they come out with a more detailed plan for this, it would be a great debate of what they
Yeah.
should do. But for now, it's just NFL saying NFL stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Crazy.
yeah, and then we got. I mean, I think that's really it for when it comes to football stuff. But then we still have, the wonderful world of playoff hockey over here right now. And Game 7 of the
Insane.
Rangers versus Carolina is happening, and I want to say the Rangers up. Yeah, Rangers are up 2-0 right now. But so that series is Game 7. So the winner of that will play Tampa Bay Lightning, and then we have the Edmonton Oilers versus Colorado Avalanche tomorrow for the start of that series, which I won't like that series a lot. The Lightning versus whoever wins this series, though, I'm like Carolina and New York have been back and forth all series. I cannot tell you a consistent team right now. So
Exactly. Yeah.
but getting close
What
to
was that
Stanley
last
Cup
game? 6-2.
finals.
6-2, something like that, right?
Yeah, like some games are like
It was
1-0.
like
It's just
lopsided.
yeah, but
And we still both agree. Lightning, Oilers, Stanley Cup. Like
I still think that yes.
okay. I want to be on the record saying that's who I think it is. That
Yeah,
Oilers
I think
Calgary team was a great series.
yeah, I was very like that wow, what a series. Like yeah, I mean even though it didn't go the distance, it was still just great games overall.
Their goal
So
was. Did you see that one picture with the girls behind the coaching,
oh
the
yeah,
Cowboys cheerleaders? I was laughing so hard. They're really
yeah.
on it. And then
Yeah, no, I'm excited though for the playoffs.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the Stanley Cup. When is that? That will be literally like right when the finals end.
Yeah, probably 2
NBA.
weeks or so because the next round will start tomorrow night. So, they'll
Okay.
play every other night or so. Maybe every other night, and then the finals start. The finals game 1 is Thursday, game 2 Sunday. So it's like the Stanley Cup might start like depending on how long the finals last, like games after game 5 or 6 maybe.
Okay.
It also all depends how long the series goes. If they both go game 7s, then that's 2 weeks of games pretty much. So
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this 2-week stretch is going to be really exciting between those two sports. And to add into that, shout out Greg, F1. We promise you, F1's coming again to Monaco, the Monaco Grand Prix, I think is what they call it, right? Something like that.
So.
And so I'm excited to watch it. I have actually that day off. I think it's either this Saturday or next Saturday after. I forget which one exactly.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?
I thought Miami was on Sunday or Saturday.
I'm pretty sure it's Monday or Sundays from what Greg says.
Okay. So maybe this Sunday or next Sunday. But definitely be on the lookout for that. Honestly, I'm having a feeling that
it happened yesterday.
Oh my gosh. So who won? Let's just get into
Wow, we are bad. You told me next week. I kept your word on that. So we're gonna blame you on this one. I'm gonna talk to Greg later tonight.
That was our guys.
Oh, he's
fired the other ones.
Yep.
We fired both of them. Now we have to fire this one, Scott.
Yeah. Well, he's done. Perez from Red Bull. He won. That's all I really know. The guy who won the guy who won from Miami came in third.
Okay.
So it was Red Bull, Ferrari, and then a Mercedes car. But I apologize to all our F1 fans. We are failures. But listen,
sorry, Greg.
He had no AC.
Sorry, Greg.
He had no AC.
And
we'll give him that one.
Weekend. We have things that we got to do. We have people to see.
I fully blame Woodid for this failure, though. So I can't
It's
win a bet,
Scott's
but
fault.
At least
I
I
had
know
Scott
when
on that.
sporting events happen. Just saying.
At any point during my intro, you could have said no, it already happened until you looked
I
it up
didn't
on your
know.
phone. It's
I
on the
trusted you.
record.
I
Okay,
trusted
Sonny.
you.
Oh,
I
get into the
trusted you.
NBA, buddy. Get into
Okay.
the
All right.
NBA. I want you.
All right.
I want you.
Before we get to the playoffs, let's talk a little rumor mill / drama mill. Let's start over in the West. Because the Lakers have been a nice front and center. They interviewed Terry Stotts, and then they ended up hiring who's that? Who was it that they hired?
Darvin Ham.
That's right. Yeah. From the Bucks. I'm happy with this signing. I think he's going to do really well. I also, with like LeBron's tweet out, it's pretty much like it's LeBron's guy. So if this doesn't go well, LeBron hired him, it seems. But while they hired the coach, of course, which I'm very excited for, then there was the whole Westbrook demanding a trade, and then the Lakers said that they will not trade him if teams ask for anyone besides Westbrook. So they plan to keep him basically because they know no whole team wants just Westbrook, which that's just going to be drama filled, which I'm excited to see as it progresses more. A little more drama over in the East now, though. Durant, it's not talking to the Nets. All the sports down here, like sports talk shows, are talking about Durant to the Hawks. I love that. I will call it now. I think Durant comes to the Hawks. I agree with it. Trae Young and him are going to ball. If he leaves the Nets, he comes to the Hawks. Saying no. Don't hate. But
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Good boy. And then Embiid also a little drama in Philly again, it seems right now. Tweeting out Miami needs a superstar. It looks like my whole we said that. I'm just saying. Embiid in Miami, quite possible.
Very possible.
And then good news though. Joker plans to sign a 5-year, $260 million extension with the Nuggets once they offer it to him. What a max.
Well deserved. 2 MVPs in the last 2 years. Hell yeah.
And then then last but not least, Zion was cleared to play. So I'm excited because Zion's a great player, but he hasn't played in a year. So we'll come to it.
It's going to be interesting. You forgot another piece of news.
I'm not done. I was getting to a little bit before we get to NBA Finals are Warriors versus someone from the East.
Who from the East? I forgot.
I'd have to look it up. Did Game 7 happen? Are you sure? Do you want to check that? Maybe it's next week, according to you.
Oh no, it's happened.
Okay,
it was yesterday.
No. Shout out to Boston. Hurts. I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet for a moment.
Do we just want to get straight into the debate and go into these finals predictions?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's just do it. Let's do it. All right. We're switching to the debate. So now I could get a little bit heated. Even though my AC's back on, I'm going to get it. First of all, Brandon, I don't know why. It's like when I say things, like do you just like hear it and then like what's the most opposite I could say? And then like you pick that?
No.
Because
actually
Boston versus the Warriors.
What I do is I think what will piss Wadid off the most. What will trigger him the most. And then I go with that.
So then what happens when it's wrong? What is that process like?
It gives you a confident booster in life, and I appreciate that I can help you out with that.
I have to say this. I was worried, and I will say this, Miami should have won that game. I truly think if that I always mess up his name. The guy that shot the three,
Strus.
His foot was on Strus.
I think Strus. See, I've watched that replay. Yeah. And so let's debate that specifically first, because one, when I first watched it, I thought in my head, oh, he stepped out, but they didn't call it. So I was like, maybe not, because it was white shoe on white. So I was like, maybe I just saw it. And then it was like 2 commercial breaks later when they were like, they've removed the points. I feel like at that point you have to pause the game and review it and like have because that right there, because I looked at the scoreboard and I was like, how did Miami just lose 3? And then they announced it like 10 minutes later and I was like, and then they showed the replay and I'm still just frozen, and that back heel never went down in my opinion.
Never went down. I'm with you on that.
And I get you can't, Miami's not going to whine about it because you had other shots. You missed like 12 free throws or something like that. Like they missed a lot of, so like you had other chances. But that right there, that changes everything because if that shot counts, Butler doesn't go for a three. He goes for a two instead of a three at the
Exactly.
end. So
Exactly. They played the
yeah,
rest of the game differently.
and it's who knows how it would have panned out, but I truly think that they should have. I think this is going to make the NBA figure out if there's a debate like that, especially in a big moment, like the game 7 of playoffs. Okay, regular season,
Everything
so be it.
reviewed
But playoffs
right on the spot. Make a
reviewed,
decision.
like yeah, like that's my thing. You waited like it took you 10 minutes. Like I get like normal. Okay, they'll say, oh, we changed a 3 to a 2. That's more fine because that's normally the front of the foot. But that back foot never really touched, in my opinion. I could be wrong,
Exactly.
but like you have to stop the game because that's also like at that point, like Miami all of a sudden looks up, they're like, wait, we're down more points. We were just down 7, now we're down 10, and they haven't made a bucket. Like we're on a 10-0 run or something. Like I don't remember the exact, stats at the runs or whatnot at the time, but it's like if you look at the scoreboard and you just lost 3 points, and all of a sudden but you're like we're on a run. Like how? Like stop the game, explain and make sure you're 100% sure. And if they have a
And they
different
were
angle,
definitely not right.
if they have a different angle that shows the other side of the foot and that touches, okay, but why not show that replay to everyone? Because right now the replay that everyone sees does not touch.
Is baseline, the baseline shot.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with you. Game 7s, you have to stop the game, even if it's a thought in your head, like you're hearing it from the booth, because they have people watching it outside. Stop the game, make a decision, and then stick to it. Because I think they were down 4.
They were
And that
down
would have brought them
4.
within 1 at that point in time. They would have played that game differently.
Yeah, because
Like,
also
and
they took it. It was a third quarter shot, but the thing was like they counted it and they didn't take it away till like almost halfway through the third, or like it was halfway through, then they almost took it away like almost at the fourth. So you let it sit up on the scoreboard for like 5-6 minutes. It felt like that's the other thing for me. It was like you had that on the scoreboard for so long, and then you just take it away, and it. I just don't like. It's such a big moment, like the fact that it looks so bad, especially the fact that the replay doesn't look like he touched the baseline. Like it looks like he's in bounds still. Like how like it's like toe taps in football and stuff. Athletes have crazy control of their feet. Like they don't. So
yeah, they could just land on the front, and then that's all they need. They don't need to. I mean,
yeah. So
I still think Boston would have won, but like I wouldn't like. I think Miami plays that game differently, and like I was nervous, and when
they played
it was
very
just like
differently.
very differently
Because
after that point.
even if every point goes the same how it was, that means they're down by 1. No, actually no, because let's see, Butler went for a 3 to take a 1-point lead, so they were down by 2, so they would be up by 1
Yeah,
when Butler gets the ball. So he's up by 1. He either takes the drive or he pulls back for the clock purposes and then drives up, and Boston's down by, assuming he makes it, it's down by 3 at that point with 4 seconds left, if that. It's the last minute is totally different at that
it's
point. Like,
different.
and
Exactly.
I mean, like like I was watching it with my buddy Chris Abdellahead, who's a huge Boston fan. He's from Boston. Like he was very happy, and the other people were happy, and I'm happy for him. And like it was a great game. I'm happy for Al Horford. That's who I'm like happy most about. Like Al Horford,
Yeah,
I would like as the fact that he was a Hawk stuff. But it's just like that game. Like, I mean, like I get Butler taking that shot, but his legs were done. Like he played all 48 minutes. And it was a good open shot. Like the debate, of course, should have Butler drove down the lane for a 2 or whatnot. No
I
one
think it was the right
like
call.
if he makes a shot, he's a hero. If he makes a shot, he's a hero. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. You live and die by what you do.
yeah. As a superstar, you have to make that. Like you had the ball in who you wanted its hands. Like the ball was in Butler's hands, and that's who you wanted the ball to be in.
And I think it showed kind of transitioning from the Eastern Conference Finals to the finals, looking at the resumes of both sides. Boston, I think, are way more battle tested than Golden State. We're going to go, they swept KD, Kyrie. They beat Giannis in the 7 games. That went 7.
Yeah.
Right. And then they beat Miami. the teams they faced, we were all saying could win the chip. Like very easily, all of them was. Versus a Golden State team that beat a very hobbled Nuggets team, ended up being hobbled Memphis team,
Morantless Memphis team in the end.
a Morantless Memphis team, and then Luka, and they took them 6 games when it should have been that close. I just want to say before we get fully into these finals, you do understand the bet is now just like if Golden State wins, I get the jersey. If I lose,
If
like,
they win, they get a jersey. Yeah, but if they lose, you don't. I'm not giving you a jersey just for them making the finals.
100% no.
Okay, I'm just making sure you do that part.
Sense.
Just making sure you do that part.
Honestly, not until just now, but like it makes sense. I was gonna try and snag the jersey now, but that is how confident I am on Golden State. I'm gonna be very straight up. I think I see this going 6 games because right now, Golden State has the home court, right?
Which is so. This is before I do my predictions. I want to ask: do you think it's fair that even though Golden State was a lower seed with a worse record, because Phoenix was the overall 1 seed, so the West gets home court advantage as a whole? Do you think that's fair, or do you think Boston, as the better team, should have home court?
Better team, but didn't Golden State win more games?
I don't think so.
I think they won more games, which is why they got it.
But they got it because Phoenix is the overall 1 seed, who was in the West.
No, okay, I could have sworn they got it because they had more games.
They had the same record as Miami, but they were still going to be home court even if Miami had won it. It's because of the overall 1 seed of being Phoenix.
Wait, so at the end of the day, Golden State has more games than Boston, but because they're a 3 seed and Boston was a 2, you're saying?
I'm saying, because from the seeding, because Golden State has home court purely because of what Phoenix did in the regular season.
But why does that matter?
I'm saying, do you think that Golden State should have home court advantage because of do you like it that whoever has the overall 1 seed, their side gets home court? Or do you think whichever team has the higher seed in the playoffs?
That's how they do it? I see what you're saying. So if the West has the better team, like the best record in the NBA, I don't like that. I don't like that. I thought it was because Golden State had more games. That's how it made sense to me, which we still need, once we find a new intern, we can have them fact check.
We can double check that, because if Miami had won, they had the same record as Golden State. So then
and Boston was the 2 seed.
Yeah. So so were they? Well, Boston might have. I don't remember. Boston, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee all had like the same exact records, but due to tiebreakers and stuff.
The Golden State won 53 games.
Yeah, and Boston won 51.
The Celtics won 51. So that to me is why Golden State had it, because they have.
But they would have still been home court even if Miami had won, and Miami has 53 wins also. So that's why I'm pretty sure it's the Phoenix winning.
See, if that's the reasoning, I don't like that, and I didn't know that's why the Heat would have done it. If I would assume that if the Heat were number 1 and they had the same amount of games, that they get it because they were the 1 seed and Golden State was a 3 seed. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, I might be. Let's see. Okay, so no, you are correct, but yet for some reason the Warriors would have still got home court if Miami won, is what they were saying though, which makes no sense to me. Because that doesn't make
sense to me. Because then it would have been Miami Heat because they were the 1 seed, at least in my head. That's what would have made sense.
Because the Warriors have a tiebreaker over Miami, maybe? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Well, anyhow, I was wrong. I'm just wrong a lot lately. It's fine. I've accepted it. Someone told me that. That's why I was like, that's just stupid. But I apologize to everyone. I know sports. I promise. I do.
No, that would have been a very NBA thing to have happen. Is like the best team gets that. So it makes sense.
But okay, so now that
I have them in 6. I have Golden State in 6.
Okay.
I think they split. Boston wins game 2. I just feel like they have less time. They put a lot of heart out in this game 7. I think Golden State wins game 1. Boston wins game 2. And then it goes Boston again, 2-1, Boston, back at Boston. Golden State wins in Boston game 4, and Golden State wins out from there. Wins game 5 at home, and then beats Boston at home, at their home for game 6.
So you have Boston winning 2 then.
I have Boston winning 2.
Okay.
I think they win games 2 and 3, and that's it.
Okay.
And then Golden State wins out.
I had this debate last night with the people I was hanging out with when it came to the game. And my initial reaction was Golden State in 5. And it hurt me to say that because the thing is, here's my thing. I don't know if it will actually happen because Boston has not lost back-to-back games. That's the biggest thing. But the problem also, in my opinion, is as much as battle-tested as they have been, they haven't faced a team with multiple superstars, really. Like, they faced the Nets, yes. But let's be real. Kyrie and KD are kind of like, they're superstars. Don't get me wrong. But, like, they weren't really playing their – like, Kyrie played half the games. So it's like half the games this season, then he came back for the playoffs, and it's like – I don't know. It just felt like something felt off about them playing this whole time. But so that and then Giannis was there, but Middleton was hurt, and then Butler was there, but Butler doesn't have another superstar with him. So for me, it's just like they battle tested 100%, but they haven't faced a team with multiple superstars, and like it's not just 1 or 2 over in Golden State. You got 4 or 5 people that could
really like that
you
point.
have 4 or 5 people that at any moment could drop 30 on you right now. And multiple
but they do
of them
switch. They do switch a lot.
Yeah.
And they run that like that the pick and roll often, Golden State. So I think the switching will help.
So that's my thing. So that's just initial reaction from the fact of how hot Golden State is. They're not as battle tested, but is that their fault or is the fact that they just ran teams? That's the thing. So it's like when they won big, in my opinion, most times. So initial reaction was Golden State in 5, but if Boston takes 1 in Golden State, I think this honestly goes to 7 games. If they take 1 in Golden State, I think that gives them just enough where they split the 3 and 4 again. So like if they take game 2, I think they then split 3 and 4. Golden State wins at home. Boston wins at home at game 6, and then it goes back to Golden State for 7. And then at that point, it's really anyone's game because you also have to think like Boston has their big 3, Golden State has their big 3, who at any moment could go hot or cold. Like they've all had huge games, they've all had mediocre games. It's the like not even the bench pieces, it's the 4 and 5s. Those are the ones that really are going to become a big deal. How much can Al Horford do? Because Draymond Green is going to drive him crazy this series.
Yes.
I'm calling technicals on Draymond and Horford at some point in the series because Draymond's going to just say just enough to piss him off.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
he better keep his mouth shut because if he gets another one, then he's out a game. That's my fear.
So
you bring up, keep going.
Because
I like where you're
that was my thing. Like Draymond, if Draymond's out for a game, that's pretty much Boston's game in my opinion. It not necessarily, but like that makes it a lot easier on them. Horford, I think, is honestly the not secret weapon, but he's going to be kind of like the make or break. If he has a huge game, especially late in the series, that's going to just be massive. Because if he can put up 20 points or something like that, 25 points with Tatum putting in like 30 and whatnot, then Boston wins like that games for sure. I also think it's going to determine Boston last night was in huge foul trouble.
Yeah.
Like they got in huge foul trouble. They can't foul like that because Golden State will not miss more free throws than they make. Like Miami missed so many free throws last night. That's it. Like as I said earlier, like Miami missed so many. If they don't miss all those, they win that game easy. If you let Golden State take, I want to say there was like 26 fouls. I don't know how many were actually shooting fouls, but like let's just say 18 were that. That's 36 foul shots at least. We'll say 32 because of some and ones and stuff. They're probably making 26 of those at least, especially if it's Curry or Clay or Poole. Like those guys are making those shots. You can't give them that many free shots. So I think what's going to determine the most is what team gets in foul trouble the most, as well as what team can win on the road as most. If Boston can win on the road, I think Boston forces game 7, and then they're really good on the road. But it's Golden State. That's a hard place to play on the road.
It's not like Miami. The fans are not like Miami.
No.
Golden State,
No.
they'll be there. And you bring up a lot of good points, honestly. I completely agree with you that it's really the top like their big three against their big three. And you're not including Jordan Poole in that big three. It's Draymond, Clay, and Steph.
Yeah,
that's
the
big
scary
three.
part. You don't like Poole and Wiggins aren't in their big three. That's the scary thing.
Yeah. And I think Poole's more so in that.
Yeah.
And then you have Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I would say Al Horford, and then what's his name? Robert Williams.
Yeah. He's gonna be big. The last game 6 and 7, he was not good. If that's right. If he can play good around the rim though, that's also a major difference. But he hasn't played great the past few games, in my opinion. Like stat lines as well as so as so.
And it's styles make fights. Like, can Al Horford keep up with Steph? Because there's gonna be times where the way they play, you may have to guard them. Like, how does Al Horford play? I think the true piece to this whole series is 100% Andrew Wiggins, because he's gonna have to take because Boston plays big. Boston has solid big men, so Draymond has to be on them because no one else can really guard him.
Yeah,
Andrew Wiggins has to guard Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. If he could shut them down and play like he played against Dallas, I see Golden State winning this no problem. But they're going to have to be creative if he shows up to be Andrew Wiggins, what we've known. I think he got good steam ahead of him. He should be looking good. But I really like this matchup because Boston switches everything, but Golden State crosses everything. It's just going to be a really fun game to watch. I think we both have it going pretty deep, 6 or 7 games.
If it's a short series, it's Golden State. If it goes the distance, I think Boston might be better favored because of just their road record.
I'm gonna let you be on both sides because you have you really don't want Boston to win. I know that in my heart. I don't
want them to. I don't want them to. I like them to for my wallet purposes. I like them to, but at the same time, I don't want them to. So
yeah. Let's switch gears though, because I feel like we brought up a lot of teams through the Eastern Conference and Joel Embiid, Miami,
all the sports as a whole.
Like, sticking to basketball, like, what do you think going into this offseason? Maybe we could just pick 3 that we really want to see, just really bad. That we offseason moves. You talked about Russell. You talked about Kevin Durant. You talked about, Embiid. I really want LeBron to go. What do you want to see happen? I know number 1, you son of a gun, if you get him, Kevin Durant to the Hawks.
Yes. So I'm going to take that one out because that's a given. I'm going to take that one out. I'm just going to let that one go because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 count. That's everything.
That's all I want.
But so I would say DeAndre Ayton out from Phoenix because they have problems. Would I love him to come to the Hawks? Yes. If we go for Kevin Durant, we're not going for Ayton also though. And if we somehow got both, oh my God. But the chances of that are very slim. But if we got Ayton or Durant to the Hawks, I'd be very happy. Very happy. Giving Durant a little bit more. But so I like that a lot. I like Embiid in Miami purely because that means we're right. And we said that before everyone else. I also don't like that because that's in the Hawks conference, not just the East, but like in their division specifically. So, but I think he needs out of Philly. I'm sorry at this point, the process is not working over in Philly. They've tried different superstars. I don't see Harden doing enough next season, caring at all for it to matter. And then I see that next, like picking a third's rough because I feel like it would be somewhere over in the West getting Luca another person, but I just don't know what
Thank you.
superstar it would be.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Like that's the thing. Like, who would it be? And I don't know. So,
I
because
mean,
I
let's
can't.
talk about that. Let's talk about it. Do you see him with another big man? I have a big man option. I also have a little guy option. I don't know which one
I
I
want to hear.
actually.
I want to hear who you have as both, and then I'll say which I like more. So say your
So
three moves. Let's hear your three moves.
so I agree. Honestly, you. I have to throw in. We
I
have
know.
one number.
I was giving you that one.
I want to see the Lakers get someone. I literally want Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook. Give me what you can. Give me what you can. If that doesn't happen, I really would love to see. And I know it won't because LeBron wants to stay in LA. But like, if he could get traded, that would be great. But I see Russell Westbrook going somewhere. I've seen like this Zach LaVine trade on TikTok, and
There also talk of Zach LaVine to the Hawks as well, which I wouldn't mind as well. Like, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of different people to the
there's a
Hawks.
lot of different pieces, and I feel like the Hawks are a hot destination. But like, I don't know. It's interesting, the Lakers situation, just because they're so screwed. I'm really hoping this coach gets some good pieces in, because like he was very well respected in Milwaukee. I really hope something sticks from there. My second, I agree with you. Something in Philly needs to change.
Oh, Philly. Okay.
Philly, I'm gonna stick to mine. Like, you called the Embiid to Miami. I see it going one of two ways. If they keep Doc, Jimmy Butler comes to the Sixers. If they lose Doc, Embiid to the Heat.
I just don't think he goes back to Philly. It's spicy
He
as can be.
loves Embiid, loves,
but
and
he
will
hates,
get in James.
But he hates Philly.
No, he doesn't. He hated them because they paid Tobias over him.
That's
now
what I'm saying.
I think Tobias is gonna dip. I think Tobias
that's
is done.
fair. If Tobias is still there, there's no chance to beat. But I like the spiciness.
Like, I see a trade package along the lines of you getting rid of Tobias Harris to match cap, and then you give him like a couple picks, like a pick or two. Then you trade Jimmy Butler for him, and then you have Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden of some sort, whatever this guy could do.
You have a fat man on the court. You have a fat man on the court.
He will be a sixth man. In that situation,
he will be water boy, and the water is in his stomach.
I
was waiting for that one to hit you there.
That was the slowest drift. But once it hit me, I was blinking and I was like, I can't open my eyes and look at you in the face. I just couldn't. And that was perfect. No, the Philly situation is interesting because of Harden. I just don't like him. I'm over it. The third one is I want to talk about Dallas, because I think Dallas has options. But your DeAndre Ayton pick kind of goes into this. I think Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Luka is a good three. I just think going into the West, everyone outside of Golden State, you need a big man. You need one. So I see something along the lines of D.A. coming to Dallas. I think that's something within the West. He knows those guys. Give him a little energy when he faces his Suns. But you need someone that could go up against a Joker, go up against Anthony Davis. That's my big man option.
I don't know if Dallas can trade for him without giving Brunson up at least.
Yeah.
That's what's rough, but I like where your head's at. But
that's something. There's always a way these people can make trades work. Unfortunately.
Okay, so that's your big. Who's your little?
My little, honestly, I'm gonna say it, and it's kind of shocking, but I really would like to see like Damian Lillard and Luka together.
I thought that, but I don't think that would mesh well. They both want the ball too much.
They want the ball too much, but like you have another alpha. Like that's my thing. Like Luka's doing this because he has to, and he's gonna have to change moving forward. He has to lose the weight. He has to play defense. But Damian Lillard's what Luka wants to be on the offense and defensive end. Now you
I
have
just
Damian Lillard to train him with
I
Jason
also
Kidd and that small
I
ball
thought
lineup.
about that. Like that was a debate for my third option. I just don't know if Lillard wants like I feel like he wants to be a trailblazer and he wants to win there. But
Which, damn, because like
like
not gonna happen.
they yeah, like at that point they need some pieces. But I like those. Those are all great options. I feel like we both kind of thought the same thing as a whole for those, which I like. And I feel like we could definitely go more in depth on those. But let's go a little more broad topics now.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think the most technical sport and the most strategic sport is? Because I think, in my opinion, they're very different when
So
it comes to
define it for
technical
me.
and strategic.
Define it so we know what we're talking about when we go into it.
So I'll say what mine is. I think the most strategic sport, honestly, probably is, in my sense, it's somewhat like that's a tough one, but I think basketball, because that one you have like you can have a lot of strategy when it comes with your coach. Like your coach can help you with strategies a lot. Like in soccer, it's a close one because, but at the same time, like once you're on the pitch, it's kind of you're there. Like your coach is going to tell you what to do, yes, but like how much strategy actually goes in. Like if you go down a goal in soccer, like it changes things a lot. But technically, individual skill, technically, I would say is soccer. But team wise, I might say it's baseball because I'll. Have you tried to hit a baseball before? Going 100 miles an hour? I know you hate that, but think about that. To truly hit, like to hit that, plus like
There's no freaking way they even see the baseball coming. They're guessing where the ball's going and swinging.
but there's
We're saying like technical is guessing. That's what we're saying. Technical
okay,
is
it's only
guessing
guessing
where the
because you don't
baseball
like
will
because
be.
you only say that because you think baseball's boring.
No,
No, I'm
that
not.
is just
But
if
also,
I can name
that's not
one
just on the
player that
offense.
sees the ball.
The defense is the same though, because like that ball comes at you, you can have stay in the same spot 100 times, and that ball can come at you 100 different ways, and you have to be like technically able to be in a different position each time. It is. I also knew this was going to piss you off, so that's why I said it.
You had it right the first time. It's soccer. It's soccer.
Individually,
but like, okay. So I'm gonna
or
literally
should I?
use your words against you.
Do you think I should reverse it? You think individually maybe baseball, but team wise it's soccer?
Not at all. I don't even think baseball is like in the
I
conversation.
know you don't.
Stratosphere stadium. No, but isn't it like baseball? Literally, it's against the pitcher. Like you're talking about the individual aspects of baseball. You
Okay, so
can't say.
it's more reversed then.
I would say. I don't even think it's reversed in between, upside down, football kick, side kick, whatever. You're running with the same thing you're kicking with. How are you supposed to control the ball? And you could use all parts of your body. Your balance has to be immaculate. People are bumping into you. You could use your head. Literally, you could push off of each other. Goalkeepers talk about like not only guessing, but like they could actually see the balls that's coming and react to it. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I think it's a curveball, so I'm gonna go. Or you could cheat in baseball, besides the fact. But you're like, it's not like football where like Patrick Mahomes could run and then throw with his arms.
Yeah.
But like you have to run, sprint, and jump and whatever as you're controlling a soccer ball, which is like pretty. I
So
think
maybe
there's more technical skill there.
So I do agree. I think maybe the most difficult sport, baseball, because of the pitch. Like, are you about to say something? Are you about to say something really stupid now?
The most difficult.
If you say what I think you're about to say,
The most. I don't.
please
If we're
don't say
gonna
what I
go
think you're about to
most
say.
difficult, can I be
Don't say
honest?
Don't say what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say. Don't say.
You don't know what I'm gonna say. If you can
No,
guess, say what I'm gonna say because I promise you don't got it.
You say it first.
Most difficult. Tennis.
How did I
It's thousand. There's no way you guessed tennis. I'm
know?
gonna
I
pee my
did.
pants if you
You
guess.
want to know why I know this? Because one, you're not picking basketball because you would have said this like 20,000 years ago to me. We know you're not picking football because you just demoted football as a whole just now. Soccer, you would have just like looked at me like, come on now. Hockey, actually might be up there. But
Hockey's definitely in the conversation.
It might
Not
have,
in the
but
big-
also you would have mentioned that during the playoffs at some point with it is. Like the sports you would have talked about at some point, and the sport we don't talk about ever is tennis. And I was like, he's gonna go off on a limb here and say tennis just because.
But you're running, you're crossing the court. You're not stationary like this, and like the baseball and
Yes,
tennis ball same size,
but
moving just
but
as
you have this
fast on
you had
different
this
surfaces.
you had this tiny like you're running in a small court. Baseball, first off, yes, you're standing still, but you have different pitchers. You have someone pitching 70, and the next guy could come in and throw 104. The guy
But
who's
that's why
serving
I'm saying difficult because tennis, it's just you. It's
yes,
just you.
but I'm saying in tennis you have this like if I'm facing you, I know your serve like speed. Okay, if you're not going to change your serve speed up 60 miles most likely. In baseball, you might have to face 5 different people in baseball in one game.
But
we need
but
a
like-
we need it in person. Have you go against a tennis player and you go against a baseball pitcher and tell me which one's harder.
First of all, I honestly, not even gonna lie, I don't think I would survive either. I don't think I will be living. First of all, tennis, I will have cardiac arrest. Or in baseball, I'm gonna get hit in the head with the baseball. Like either one of them. And I feel like
I'm telling that pitcher to drill you in the thigh. I want you to have a welt. We are so far off topic right now, by the way.
But we haven't even gotten into like the most egregious thing that you said. Like I don't even think baseball being in that conversation was the most egregious. Basketball as the most strategic.
Are you saying soccer also?
No. Football. There's no way it's not
cop-out
football.
answer. That's the cop-out answer.
How is that a cop-out answer? It is
because every play's different.
Every part of the team is different. You need strategy for each part. If your quarterback moves to the right, this is what your offensive line does. This is how your wide receiver is supposed to move. This is the whole offseason. The whole thing is a game of strategy.
It's supposed to be, but the problem is also like one person moves wrong, your strategy's out the window. You're like, well, crap, I have no blockers now.
But let's just say this for the record. We're not talking about the Falcons. We're not talking about the Lions. Those two teams are gone. There's no strategy with them. But we are talking like Tom Brady, where literally anything he sees is a move. If you blink and clap your hands, the play's over. He knows what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's all strategy. It's like a chess game. But I will have to say, it's not that basketball is a bad pick. I just don't. I think it's a lot of like on the fly, like figuring it out. I don't see it as much involved with the coaches.
So, well, I was thinking more with the coaches because once the play's set, the player has to swap the play. The coaches in basketball, though, at any moment could like swap things up, like while the play was happening. Like you can yell, like in football, like once the play is made, though, it's up to like the quarterback. So I think it's a different type strategy. I think both could be correct answers. Football is a more general strategy, and you are correct, is a game of strategy. But I think because like it kind of shows like with how Boston versus Miami's this past series was, how strategy was with them swapping up like randomly choosing that's my thing. Is like they can do in-game strategies changes instantly, like right away. Like, okay, this isn't working. Boom. All of a sudden we're doing now zone. Like you can literally be going down. By the time you're at half court, it went from man to zone. In football, you can change the play, but that's up to the players. So I'm talking
when you say it like
in-game
that,
coaching.
I would say in-game and in series too, because like you look at what Jason Kidd did against Phoenix and how they blitzed Devin Booker and then they doubled Devin Booker and blitzed Chris Paul. You're 100% right. I will give you that. It is a lot of strategy. I was thinking more like even
you're thinking week to week. Planning
strategy. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. But I just want to say there is literally no way baseball is any sort of technical. It's guessing. How many you guys literally have a stat for an error because you guessed wrong?
No, the errors are not guessing wrong. That's because you just can't clean the ball field. Like you made the errors only in the outfield. You threw the ball out of bounds, basically. It's like, oh, I can't throw the ball today. That's not guessing. That's just being crap. That's technically wrong.
So then they can't be the most technical.
They are. Doesn't mean
it can't be the most technical.
That doesn't mean they're good. It's the most technical, but they still fail. That's like soccer when he shoots the ball 50 rows back. That's not technical. That's a fail.
Yeah,
I
but that's
love
called a
soccer too.
clearance. We have a word for that. It's not that
When
we
you
can't
shoot
throw a
the ball,
football.
no. When you shoot
Okay.
the ball, it goes 50 rows deep. You're like, what
But
are you
again,
doing?
you could see the difference. If you mistime it, it could go flying because then you're hitting it up and not down.
Well, it's not
There's
even
not enough
mistiming.
pod.
It's not.
There's literally I'm sweating. I am boiled. Wow, I did not see this coming. We need to maybe revisit this.
We do.
We may need to revisit
Here's
this.
the other thing, like, it's just like we got strategy down, but technically, I feel like there's so many different categories, and technically,
And that, yeah,
that's
and
that's
the way
let's just face it.
tell me your definition, and then we're gonna leave it on
We
that.
we don't have time for that.
Okay.
We don't have time.
Okay.
I want to leave it on this. Messi's the most technical player ever in every sport. Screw whatever else it says.
1,000%. A very distant second is Ronaldo. Like
Yeah.
very distant second.
Honestly, I need to watch more Pele, but I feel like Pele was quite technically sound also. I mean, you could really you could put any of the GOATs up there, but if you put Ronaldo first, we have a problem.
But I have to say, Pele was facing people like me and you in Brazil. So, I mean, damn, I would look good if I was playing against Josh Nassers. You know what I mean? So, like, and on that note, peace out, everyone. Enjoy the finals.
Wow.
Enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll be back.
Let us know what y'all's thoughts on all that stuff is, because I feel like we could have 60 different answers, and Wadid would hate it more than me, and I'm just going to antagonize him on every moment of it.
And if you do
But
comment, just understand I will come at you the same energy as Brandon. And Brandon will come at you the same way as me, and we will have to quote our names. So
share, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. We appreciate y'all. Have a great another week. We'll catch y'all next week with some more updates on everything.
Much love. Peace.